I am 92 years old. I have outlived the world I was born into. I have outlived my husband, my siblings, and a Rolodex of friends so thick it used to clutter my desk. And I am writing this because you need a reality check, not a comforting slogan. If you are sitting there in your 60s, feeling relatively sturdy, thinking you have an endless stretch of highway ahead of you, tap the brakes. You don't. Your 60s are not the beginning of a perpetual summer. They're autumn. And if you don't spend autumn gathering wood and reinforcing the shelter, winter is going to kill you. I spent nearly 4 decades as a high school guidance counselor. I made a living preparing teenagers for a future they couldn't see. Now I am doing the same for you. But unlike those children, you don't have time to make mistakes. The biological audit. Let's start with the vessel you are inhabiting. At 60, you likely take your mobility for granted. You walk to the car, you climb the stairs with laundry. You assume these are permanent features of your existence. They are not. They are privileges that are about to expire. Here is the brutal mathematics of aging. What you lose in your 60s, you rarely get back. Muscle mass evaporates. Bone density hollows out. If you are 62 and you can do a squat, do 10. Do them every single day until your legs burn. Do not be gentle with yourself. You are not preserving energy. You are fighting atrophy. You are building the scaffolding that will have to hold you up when you are 90. I look at my great-grandchildren running, and I feel a phantom sensation in my legs, a memory of power I squandered because I thought it would always be there. It won't. Then there is the silence. It sneaks up on you. I had a tribe. We were the Tuesday girls. 4 of us, inseparable for 40 years. I assumed we would be old ladies together. Barbara's heart stopped at 75. Eileen's cancer took her at 81. Margaret lasted until 87. Now, on Tuesdays, I eat lunch alone. The mistake most of us make is thinking our social circle is fixed. But in your 60s, the math turns against you. You need to recruit. It sounds cold, but it is survival. Make friends who are 10, 15 years younger than you. Join clubs you don't care about just to meet faces you haven't seen before. Cast a wide net. Because if you rely solely on the people who knew you when you were 30, you will end up the last one standing in a room full of ghosts. And the loneliness of being the sole survivor is a weight I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. The administrative act of love. Let's talk about the paperwork of death. I know, you want to skip this part. Do it anyway. Leaving your affairs in chaos is not an oversight. It is an act of aggression against the people you love. If you are 60 and you haven't had the death talk, you are failing your family. Do not wait for the diagnosis. Do not wait for the crisis. Give them the roadmap now, while your hand is steady enough to draw it. The identity crisis. I loved my job. Mrs. Costello, the guidance counselor. That was who I was. I counted down the days to retirement like a prisoner scratching tally marks on a wall. Then I retired at 70, and the silence was deafening. I didn't realize that work wasn't just a paycheck, it was my relevance. Without it, I was just an old woman in a house that was too quiet. If your job is your identity, you are heading for a cliff. You need to build a parachute before you jump. Who are you when you aren't an accountant? Who are you when you aren't a teacher? If the answer is, I don't know, find out now. Pick up a paintbrush. Volunteer. You need a purpose that doesn't come with a pension, because the day you hand in your ID badge, you become a nobody unless you have built a somebody elsewhere. The myth of the golden twilight. Anthony and I were married for 63 years. People hear that number and they swoon. They don't know the math. The first 20 years were a blur. The next 15 were a war zone. We didn't really find our rhythm until our 50s. We had maybe 10 truly golden years. Then the decline started. The last decade wasn't about romance. It was about nursing. Anthony died in a hardware store. I miss him every hour, but I regret that I spent my 60s thinking we had forever. Later brings hip replacements and dementia. If you love your spouse, enjoy them now. Go to dinner on Tuesday. Buy the tickets. The window of opportunity where you are both healthy is smaller than you think, and it is closing while you read this. The weight of silence. Drop the grudge. My brother Frank and I didn't speak for 8 years. I don't even remember what started it. I was righteous. Frank died at 79. The phone never rang. I carried my righteousness right to his funeral, and I laid it in the ground next to him, where it did absolutely no good. Now I talk to his photo, but photos don't apologize. If you are estranged from someone you love, fix it. Today, swallow your pride. It tastes bitter going down, but it's better than the taste of regret. Death is final. Phone calls are not. Make the call. The Parent Trap. To those of you with adult children, stop talking. I spent my 60s trying to parent my children as if they were still teenagers. I thought I was being helpful. I was being a nuisance. They didn't want my wisdom. They wanted my presence. Every time I offered unsolicited advice, I was telling them, I don't trust you to handle this. Your job as the CEO of their lives is over. You are a consultant now. You only speak when hired. Learn to listen without solving. It is the hardest discipline you will ever master, but it is the only way to keep them at your table. The paper brain. Here is something scary. I am losing my mind. Not all at once, but in fragments. The hard drive is full, and the data is corrupting. If you are in your 60s, start writing things down. Not just the grocery list. Write down the texture of your life. These memories feel permanent to you now, but they are written in sand. The velocity of the end. Finally, the most important thing. You think time is a constant. It is not. When you are my age, a decade passes in a blink. The last 30 years of my life have moved at a velocity that terrifies me. I turned 70, and then I turned 92. There was no middle. I am not telling you this to depress you. I am telling you this to wake you up. You are sleepwalking through the most critical decade of your life. You are acting as if the clock isn't ticking, but the alarm is about to go off. Pay attention. Taste your coffee. Feel the sun on your arms. Do not defer your joy. I sit here in my daughter's living room, surrounded by the remnants of a long life, and I am telling you, it goes so fast. Do not waste your 60s. They are the launch pad for your final ascent. Make them count. Because one day, you will be 92, talking to a camera, praying that someone, somewhere, is listening. You still have time, just not as much as you think.